Hi everyone. Um, you have been drawing black and white picture for a quite long time. I think you all get bored of it. So this semester we are going to do something new um, with color pencils, and we are doing all coloring picture. Um, but and in this class, this is a very beginning class. In the first class, I would say that probably the same thing in the beginning of the class again, because I think you know you only watch this video, you probably won't remember much. So I have to keep like we're doing the black and white one. I keep saying the same thing over and over again. Things you needed to be careful, things you needed to watch out, and all the time, and eventually you get it. Okay, so let's start with color. Let's talk about the basic coloring picture people do, the mistake people does. Okay, so like this is orange, right? When you look at orange, and you probably think like, oh, if I'm going to color or orange, I'm going to grab or orange color, which is, let's see, like this, right? I'm going to grab or orange color. Then I'm just going to draw a orange because this is orange color, right? Then and for the darker part, since we are, doing three-dimension real orange, not, cartoon orange, we want to make it three-dimension. Then when you already know when we're doing three-dimension, we have a lighter side, a darker side. The shadows make the things look three-dimension because this is literally just flat on here, right? But you don't see a flat orange, you see a 3D orange. That's all because the shadow, the highlight, the casting shadow make your eye look at make an illusion of a three dimension. Actually, you touch it, it's a flat, right? So, but when you're doing the shadow part, and you just like get this dark, right? If you just use one color, and of course then get that part light and light, then you make this kind of a three-dimensional sphere, and it's an orange color. It's not so that's what you do, right? If you think about orange, you just grab an orange color. But this lesson, I will let you know there is a lots of color going on this orange. Okay, a lot. I actually finished one before, and which is this one. I used totally over 10 colors on this orange. And the reason is, you can tell the only really orange part is probably this part. I'm going to use a different color so you can see. Probably that part, right? See that part? That's between the light and dark. Then the edge, that part is really orange, is the basic, the orange color is, right? That's the part that's really orange. Then in the very light part and very dark part, even the reflection part, they're not orange anymore, right? See, if I make a color, you can see if I make an orange color very close to here, I try, use this. See, that's pretty close, right? It's a tiny bit of maybe darker. It's too red. Let me make a tiny bit darker, maybe like that. Yeah, see, that's very close, right? And maybe a little light. Yeah, see, that's the orange color, right? If I put this color on here, you hardly can see it. It's just a tiny bit darker than that. Make it a little bit lighter, maybe. See, that's how you like find the color. You have to really really try it to make it right. I always try to make it right, so I try a lot. Yeah, that's about it, right? So this part is that orange color. You can tell I'm putting it. You can't really see. Then if I'm putting this right here, what a difference. What a difference, right? Now you can see the difference. Compare those color to here, right? See, even you use this, like even you darken this. You won't make that part dark, you just make it that more bright. The color is more intense, right? It's a more intense orange, it's not the darker side of orange, right? And so because it's on the darker side, so the orange is not that intense. And because there's a shadow goes on here, you know, they get a little muddy color, not that bright. Same as here, right? It's not that bright. And that's the darker part. And the lighter part is not as orange as that because the light shines on the color get less intense, right? Kind of faded orange color. Tint a bit or yellow color if you compare the orange to here. This one is way more yellow, right, than the orange, more, you know, green tone. So let's see, that part I want you to understand. So when you color one thing or tree or, you know, a banana or anything, right? And they're going to be have some part have that original color, even like you have a white t-shirt, and some part is like very white, but lots of part is not as white because, you know, the clothes has a folds, then the folding part, the shadow part is, you know, less white. It's more like bluish. That I will tell you later about how white shadow part is all blue purplish, right? And right now I just want you to remember, don't color with one color, see color, okay? If you pay attention, see it, there's a lots of color in there. It's not just light green, dark green, light orange, dark orange. There's a different color mixed in there, like those less intense color. There's lots of color mixed in there. Now I'm going to tell you how to mix it, right? So that's very important because, you know, if you look at this, you say, what I'm going to do, what color I'm putting there. So the basic rule is, I'm going to tell you, the basic rule is add purple and ultramarine blue is very, very safe. Ultramarine blue. That's most timely you put in the shadow, but not all the time because if this is like a green background, they're going to have a reflection, green reflection here. So that won't be, you know, that blue. Probably you have to add the green in there, right? So, but the general rule is more purple and blue in the darker part. Now I'm going to show you, and you can tell this part, this lighter part is yellow, right? Is yellow tones. That's more purplish tones. If you really put an orange here, you can't really see that, right? But it's not a bright purple, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys and what color I'm going to pick for this orange, right? I'm going to put this here and let's go this over. Okay, now so many colors in this orange. I'm definitely this two for the, you know, shadow, and this probably for that. I'm going to add a tiny bit of, you know, the green probably for here, and some actually for here. I can see a little green there. Then this is a muted green, probably better. I'm going to grab that. I definitely want this, and burnt orchard, and for tone this part a little darker because you don't want and all blue, right? It's not really that blue. And this red brown probably for there, and a little bit more orange, definitely yellow, you know. And I'm going to have this turquoise. I'm going to put a little bit blue here later, the turquoise blue there. And this looks like good color for the orange. And let's see, yeah, I want some this light purple is very good for the side, for the edge of the thing, even people's face. And this orange, you can see that's a little bit light purple. Can you tell that? And that make, when you make this color on the edge, the thing turn to the other side, like, you know. And otherwise won't, you know, is if it's too dark, it won't turn, so you get kind of like this faded color. Right now I have in 956, 1002, 916, 905, 943, 921, 1005, 945, 942, 911, 918, 912, 902, 932. Okay, I might grab more later, but right now I'm just going to use that. Probably, actually, this is a very orange red. I'm going to have that. Maybe I can add something over there, and I might have to grab some later right here, but right now that's it. Okay, that's lots of colors. So I'm going to start coloring. And for coloring and for the pencil coloring, that's a trick. Okay, I'm going to have a paper here show you. So think about it. When you have a palette, when you want to make an orange, let's see, I don't have an orange, right? You just grab some yellow, then grab some red, right? And you mix it together in the palette, then you put on your paper. That would be your orange, right? Right now, the pencil, how you like mix pencil together, the rule is the darker color always color the lighter color. So if I put a yellow here, if I want to make a orange, a shape on here, see, I put here, you can see that's yellow, that's red, right? If I do the opposite, if I put the orange first, I try to make a yellow on top, the yellow won't show much. See that? Just remember that, okay? And that's one thing. And so I want you to kind of start with the lighter color first, okay? Then put a darker on. Like if you want to do a tree, right? Let's see, we want to do a tree. I'm going to and just get a tree shape here, right? Then I'm thinking, oh, okay, I want to get some shadow on the tree. Then you grab your dark blue or green, then you shape the shadow on the lighter part. So you can make a shape of it, right? And if you do the opposite, you probably can't see the shape. So if you can add some lighter on the top and mix with the darker. Now you have a kind of a tree shape right here, right? And so that's what I'm talking about, you know, light color first, dark part later. And I grab this dark brown here. Yeah, I might can use that too. So another thing is about color pencil, okay? Very, very important is when you mix color, look here, when you mix color, and because our paper itself, it have lots of those bumps on the surface. It's not flat, smooth. That's why you can see this. See, it's not very smooth. See, you can see the white spot here and it didn't fill in, right? That allow you to make more color on top of it. If it's too smooth, the other color won't go on. Like if you make this color too dark, see like this, that covers all the white spot, it's very hard to put another color on top of it. See, the two color won't mix, right? But if you do this, then if you do this loosely, the two colors start to mix to each other. See, they turn to be sort of a different color, right? Then you can, if you don't enough, enough, you can put this on. Then you can put the red on, right? Then you can put more the turquoise on. See, they turn to become a different color. That's how you mix the color. Okay, so when you shade it, see how loose I shaded? Very loosely. Okay, so you have room for mixing other color in there. See the two color, it kind of mixed in there. It turned to become a different color, right? So another about color rules is like if you have like two color mixed together, the color is still kind of bright, pretty. But if you mix lots of color together, 3 or 4 color together, the color would, the intense would really tone it down and it won't be that bright. Can't see that. See this, and it's going to be more and more like the shadow color, right? Like the shadow color of the orange. See how I apply color? I mean, really takes time, really need patience, right? If you don't have patience, I don't think you can finish this work. It really takes time. And also, I'm not asking you to finish in one class. If you finish in 2 or 3 classes, totally fine. And the slower is better. Especially in the beginning, okay? Because you will see more stuff in there. Okay, now I told you how to apply color from light to dark, how to mix color. Now we're going to really drawing this now. Okay, here we go. We have this. I hope you can't see it, because last time I made a mistake. You can't see it. Okay, this looks good. So you can see the orange, and you also can see the drawing I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm say the same thing. I'm going to have a yellow kind of a base. It's very light yellow base. This just, you know, this between this have like lots of space. That's fine. Okay, just want a light yellow space. And now I'm going to, you know, since it's orange, I'm just going to put some orange here. And first I'm just get the core shadow, right? This is not really the color yet, but it's the base of the color. We are layering it. So you noticed the top is darker than the bottom. That's why I did. Top is lighter, darker than the bottom. Okay, now since I had this layer, see how loose in the beginning? That's why I wanted the color mix together, okay? The yellow mix with the orange, mixing together. Now I start use ultramarine blue to add this little bit for the shadow. And notice I didn't put this all the way on the edge, not on the way on the edge, because see the reflection on the edge? See that reflection? This is darker than that. That's how the orange turned to the other side, okay? And I'm going to make it a little smaller and add this lightly, okay? Otherwise it's going to be a blue orange, because I'm going to add lots of color in there, different colors, right? This is just like the first layer. So see the tone down, okay? Now, like you can see, it's darker side. It need to be more darker. I'm using this, make it darker. A little bit faded on the bottom. Now you need to be more orange. You need more orange. Orange, come. Mix the orange here. Takes time, kids. No hurry. Not in a race, okay? Because, you know, that's how color pencil makes color. If you are doing painting, probably easier, you know, doesn't take that much time. But yeah, we are not. And we are using color pencil, so it does take more time. But the thing is, you know, all the method is exactly the same. So if you learn how to color with color pencil, you're definitely going to know how to color, how to do oil painting. No, it just, you know, it just different part of, oh, I forgot, leave this highlight, very important. And the different just like the technique, like, you know, how to mix color, but what color you use and what you see is exactly the same. That doesn't change, right? The Only part changed is, you know, the way you mixing color, because that's how color pencil mixing color. Okay, still not dark enough. Add more. So always, I'm going to have this purple now. Add this purple here. If getting too purple, I'm going to put more orange on there. Okay, more warm tone color. Too harsh. See how like light I coloring this? That's has a reflection. Okay, more orange. Now I can push a little bit harder because I want to get it dark. And this part is really orange, right? So I can push a little harder because that's the orange part. I mixed the orange with the purple and blue and brown I mixed before. This exercise is really just for you to understand color is, see, remember that is a different color, right? This is way darker than that. Can you see that? See, so right now it looks same, so I really needed to darken this later. Got it? That's the value part, right? See, this is the same color. I use that color. I put here is darker than this. I put here is lighter, right? But yeah, but you can just shade it now, then you're going to darken that later. They cannot be the same value, right? Just let you know that need to be darker later. So that part is more orange. And also pencil, very important, sharpening. I really like a sharpened pencil because that's very easy to mix color than a fat pencil. Leave that highlight. I'm going to work on the highlight later. I felt like this part needed more yellow. I'm using this. Just for you to understand color, okay? And that's the purpose of we're doing this. Means when you say orange, it's not all orange color. There's lots of color in there. See how many color in here? I'm going to use all those colors later. So right now, if you squeeze your eyes, look at it, the dark side is not dark enough. So I'm making the darker side darker. Let's see what color I'm going to use. Actually, I'm going to use this brownish color. Tone it down because that's in the darker side. I'm going to use this, the purple, put kind of right here, along here. It's a bit hard, but if you understand, you'll enjoy it. See, that's a little green. I see some green there. I'm just going to put some green here. Be brave to use color. So since this part is not orange enough, so I can't get this darker, so I'm going to make it more orange. Layer it. I'm going to go on to the detail later. This part is a little bit darker. That's the shape of the orange. Darken this. And I'm going to use this color, Yellow Orchard, because Yellow Orchard is a color is a little bit greenish yellow, so it's not that bright. I think it's pretty good for this lighter part. See, right? Can have that little bit green yellow tone in there, like what that is. And I'm going to add a little red actually. Right here, I think this is more, the color is more intense right here. So that's the most intense color in the whole picture is right here, right? It's more orange, and the other part is not that orange and red. This part is the most intense area. So between the dark and light. So I'm just going to make that darker. Then I'm going to add a little bit on this here, then yellow. Yeah, I just try to mix color. So the very, very important thing is I always hold all the color next to me, because if you put in your box, every time you are looking, and you get so bored and tired looking, you probably just use one or two color to finish, because it's just so time consuming to always looking for colors. And so I always hold, because I don't think you have as big as hand I have, but you try or just put all in a same like a spot. Don't put it in the big pencil box, so it's easy to access, so it's easy for you to get it, and then you will tend to use it more, right? Okay, still need to darken this, because this is really just in the shadow part. It's not that intense as that color, just I showed you before. Now I can get the shadow. See where the start, start middle of here. Get the shape of shadow right, okay? Don't just draw a random shadow. So the shadow is very important. Shadow is not black and gray like you think it is. Shadow has different colors too. This obviously is orange, so the shadow and has the orange get a reflect color on the shadow. So the shadow, if it's orange, the shadow gets to have some orange tones in there, right? Because they're going to, the color is all about reflection. This color reflect that color and become a different color. So I'm going to start with this purple. So like I said, like color always the shadow always is like blue and purple tone. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm going to add some red here. So since this orange, see, that's kind of warm tone. It's an orange, so I got orange here. Now, it's not dark enough. I'm going to add some of this dark brown. Just try to mix the tone of the shadow. Don't get this too clear, okay? If you get this very clear, this and orange, not going to turn to the other side and make it a little bit blurry actually. And but still can't see the shape. Not blurry too, you can't really see the shape. So see, I tend to make those all faded on the end. And this part make a little darker to get some ultramarine blue. And more warm. This is a burnt orchard. So warm tone because the orange. And add some purple. That's faded on the edge. I'm going to get some, remember I'm saying turquoise? I'm going to add a little bit turquoise on the edge. And I can add some turquoise here if you want. Just give it a different tone of color. Some purple. So now, like, the thing is almost done. I'm going to add texture on there. So see how I'm adding the texture, okay? Because the orange skin, the texture is not very, very smooth, right? You have those, you know, bumpy texture on this the skin. So work on the lighter side a little bit. Let me get to this first. Okay, here. So green, right? Okay, let's get it dark on the darker side. Okay, if you want it dark, you get dark green with dark red. Here's my dark red. I'm putting a dark red here. See, get even darker, right? And get a lighter green and darker green. Takes time. Don't hurry. Then I'm going to make those bumpy things here. See, bumpy things. And since it's the wrong color, I'm going to do orange. It's an orange color. It looks like bumpy stuff. Now I'm going to make some more bumps. I'm going to use this dark brown. Here's a bump. Here's a bump. And fade it, okay? Don't draw like that. That isn't going to look like anything, right? Then I'm just, you know, dots it. Because the bump shows by the shadows. If you have no shadow, they're going to cannot see the bump, right? And it's so light you barely see it. If you made it dark, that would look weird. It looks like the orange has freckles on it. Okay, kind of. Looks like it bumps. Then I'm going to add some those on there. Then that will make it more bumpy. I'm choosing this color because this color is more muted and not that bright. Then I can add some darker on there somewhere, not all. So all the bump part, okay, it will show the most. Remember this is when the lights meet the dark part. You have to have a light part, a dark part. When they meet, they will show more those bumps. Feel like I can add one more layer of the orange to make the whole thing more orange. So when I'm doing this, I'm keep looking at this, okay? I'm not just use my memory to draw all this. Remember that you can't see my eye, but I'm just telling you. I'm keep looking at this. So when you draw it, you have to keep looking at my picture, okay? Because you can't remember all the shadows. You can't remember all the colors. You have to perceive and in detail to get it. That part is too much, I think. I'm going to get rid of that. And the edge. I think I'm done. And the last, I want to talk about the colors, warm tone and the dark tone again, okay? So add more purple. Try to get the darker side more dark. And about the color is, like I said before, I'm going to find a warm red and cold red, and a warm green, cold green, warm blue, and cold blue. Let's you see what I'm talking about, okay? So for a warm red, it looks like this. That's a warm red. That's a cold red. Can you tell? One is more yellowish, one was more purplish, right? And now I got a warm green and a cold green. See, the all greens, different tones. More yellowish, more bluish. Now, this is a warm blue. This is a cold blue. See the difference? So color has warm and colder tones. So that means then if facing the sun, there should be more yellow because the sun is warm. And if not facing the sun in the shadow, normally is more and cold, right? And in the shadow, and depends on what's the, reflex lights are mostly, the shadow, you just put purple and blue for the shadow. Especially you see if you take picture of the snow, you see how purple the shadow of the snow is. It's definitely not gray color, right? It's really a blue color. It's very pretty. If you go online and search like snow landscape or scenery, you will see lots of blue color there in the shadow. So yeah, that's about our lessons today, and it's very basic. I want you to take time. This orange, we can take 2 lessons, no problem, okay? And no hurry. We are not racing. So the slower you do, the more understanding you did, and you see some more stuff in there, the better. All right? I'm going to put all those things together. Okay? Just having fun with the color. This is our first lesson. So if you, can't do it, or if you're not very good, that's fine. So your first drawing, remember that. My first drawing, definitely worse than you, okay? And so I'm been practicing, learning, that's how I know. And it really takes time to remember all these things. So like I said, I'm not expect you to learn with the one lesson. I have to repeat this thing like zillion times, like my teacher did to me. Then you will remember, okay? You'll master it. Okay, bye.